Alright, good afternoon. I'm SSG Pelz. Most of you already know me. If not, I'll see you at gunnery. Don't do anything stupid. I don't feel like getting hurt in the next few weeks. Alright. Not all wounds can be seen. Alright? Next slide. You can see the wound soldier, correct?
Yes, sir.
Next slide. It's another wounded soldier being carried back, right?
Yes, sir.
Next slide. What's the difference with these three pictures? Can't see the wounds. Alright? I want you all to take a minute and I want you to close your eyes. Alright? I want you to think of what I'm talking about, such things. If you have gone through or you know somebody who has gone through this, alright? I want you to think of death, rape, assault, vehicle accidents, disasters, war, robbery, anything so horrific or terrifying that you've had nightmares about it. Something that's haunted you and it still disturbs you to this day. Alright, open your eyes. Alright, has anyone or anyone that you've known experienced something like this? Alright, if you've noticed changes, you've noticed something ain't right about them, alright? Talking about post-traumatic stress disorder. Alright. I grew up with PTSD. My household, I experienced it myself. But what really causes it? Symptoms can be visible or they can be hidden. They can look like some other illness. Like many other disorders, though, there are treatments. 70% of adults, 14 to 40% of adolescents have experienced some type of traumatic event. 20% of these people develop post-traumatic stress disorder. It's estimated that 8% or 24 million Americans at any given time suffer from PTSD. It's an epidemic. It really is. Alright, my experience with PTSD is vast. I grew up in my household. When I was growing up, my father wasn't always there for me. He was drinking, he was working, he never really wanted to spend time with me. Just get drunk and tell me these horrible stories that he experienced in Vietnam. Alright, I didn't know what it was then, but now that I'm a little older, a little more educated, I understand it was PTSD. Alright? Going through his same experiences and living in his footsteps, I forgave him in an instant. I suffered from PTSD. I spent 34 months in Iraq, and my last 2 deployments weren't too bad. My first 15 months, I saw things, I killed people, I've lost friends, I've smelled things that just stay with me. You know, and it's a hard thing, but what can you do but keep going on? PTSD can affect every aspect of one's life. Not just a little bit here, a little bit there, or this or that. It affects your entire life. Alright, did some research at the Mayo Clinic, and they got some pretty good things for symptoms. This is the best way to kind of describe it. Keep an eye out for yourself, or family members, or somebody you know later on. Alright, not everything is caused from war. It can be rape, assault, a robbery. Someone could have got robbed at McDonald's. Guess what? They don't ever go back to a fast food joint because they're afraid of getting robbed again. It haunts them. It's caused by any horrific event or traumatic experience that that person goes through. It's not something specific. It's something that's traumatic to them. Right? The brain does not store it like other memories. You remember when you went to high school and you went to your prom or something like that, and it was just a normal memory. But with post-traumatic stress disorder, you feel it, you see it, you relive it, you smell it. It's a different memory. The exact cause is unknown. They're still researching it. They're looking at a lot of things like genetics, predispositions to the disease, chemical imbalances, stuff like that. some of the symptoms that you can kind of help identify. Alright? Most but not all start immediately. Sometimes it takes months. Sometimes it takes years for the symptoms to develop and come on. Alright? Reliving. Reliving is one of the big ones. You relive the experience over and over and over again. You have no control of that memory. You relive it whenever it decides to come up. Alright? Avoidance. You avoid certain things. Like I said before, avoid going to a fast food store. You avoid dark alleys. You avoid things, you avoid people that remind you of that incident. Right. Another one is feeling numb or emotionally detached. You just kind of like a robot, just going through the motions. A lot of family members or spouses or even close friends will notice that. You're just not the same person, you just don't care anymore. Alright, keyed up, adrenaline rushes, constantly on watch. I have a lot of problems with that. It's hard to kind of settle down and actually relax. Alright, finally some of the other symptoms include depression, anxiety, insomnia, impulsive behaviors, something that someone does that they wouldn't usually do. Alright, feelings guilty. Over 31 million Americans suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder. I personally know 5 friends who have lost a battle with PTSD and are no longer with us. Alright, if you know somebody who needs help, give them some help. Talk to them. Be a friend. Alright, now that you understand the causes of the symptoms, I urge you to get you or someone you know that has this battle going on to get them the treatment that they need. Help is available. Next slide. Alright, here's some resources, not just for military, civilian as well. If this can assist one person, I consider it successful. It's a real battle, and it goes on every day. Not just for me, but millions of other Americans. If you have any questions, feel free to see me after this. Thank you, and have a good afternoon.